everybody. You know what time it is.
What's going on? It is Brother Empowerment. It is Thursday.
Brother Empowerment time.
The dope thing is, bro, we already in a new set.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited. We in a new set.
Yeah, you see us? You see us? You see us?
We going places. So I'm definitely excited. Look, we didn't even go live here. It stopped. It ain't even doing
Oh,
it.
man.
But we live over here, so it don't matter. So happy Thursday to everybody.
What's going on? It's Brother Empowerment time.
We already done told our people on YouTube and Instagram.
What's up, everybody on there?
Yep. We wanted to definitely tell everybody, but it is Thursday. It is Thursday. It is Thursday. It is Thursday, which is my favorite day of the week. Is your favorite day of the week too?
Yes. One of them. You're exactly right. Yo, before we do anything.
What we gotta do?
Before we do anything.
What we gotta do?
And this list lets you know how big of an occasion this is. You know, we got to wish a special happy birthday shout out to Superman himself. He's even on with us. Kerwin Pittman. Happy born day, bro. Superman. Happy born day, bro.
Happy birthday, Kerwin. Look, see, y'all gotta do it. See, put a deep, happy born day, happy Earth Day, happy solar, what is it? Solar something around year day. Happy Be Earth Day. Happy anniversary of your arrival. So all of those great things. How was your week, bro?
Oh, man, this week has been really just more of the same, but really, man, of course, we've talked a lot this week like we normally do. But really, this week for me, it's really been a week of really tapping in with people. I've done more chatting, texting, you know, Zoom calling this week than I think I've ever done in almost as much I've done in my whole life, man. I've gotten real acquainted with Zoom since the quarantine has happened, and I tell you that for real. So, but it's been fun. Been doing a lot of self-reflecting. And really just been looking at those things that I've really been needed to tackle. I have extra time now to do it. There's not as much pulling on my time, and I can't go out and politic and frolic like I really usually do when it's warm like this. So it's just more time with self, and I've really just buckled down and started really just tackling those things that have been weighing on me for a long time. So it's been it's been a week of work. And a week of reflection, bro. So how about you?
Not politic and frolic.
Yes, those are my words.
Politic and frolic.
Yeah.
Bro, this week has actually been super dope. And so we're gonna act like you just didn't see that, but in addition to this week being the week of our local activist and superhero Kerwin Pittman, this guy over here, this guy just launched his business, CGEE Enterprises.
Yeah.
In partnership, of course, with Love is a Parable, but he's going to be offering IT services along with computer repair.
Yeah.
If you didn't get a chance to see the dope video announcement, we announced it yesterday, right?
Yes, we did.
Yesterday at 12, you got his mom on there cheering him on, my mom on there cheering him on, our moms, you know, doing all of those great things. So I'm excited because that means we have another entrepreneur among us.
Yeah, somebody made me a really super dope logo. So
I don't know who that could be.
Props to that brother as well, because that logo was fire.
I don't know who did that, but CGEE Enterprises is on the move. So if you need it, listen, don't be trying to park it like pimp them. Go to the website. Go ahead and order the services. His fees are up there. If you go to Love is a Parable /services, you should be able to find everything that you need. But definitely go and support my brother because this is awesome. So congratulations to you, my brother.
Thank you, bro.
So we got a lot of people already on. We got the lovely Ashley Cobb. She was supposed to be on tonight, but she did have an emergency, but she will be back next week.
Hey, Ashley. Hope everything's okay.
And you already said we got Brother Kerwin already on.
Yes, we do, Superman.
We got my brother Elijah on.
What's up, E?
What's going on, brother? We got Darlene on.
What's up, Darlene?
Yeah, they don't want to dance to the rhythm. Oh, we got Omar.
We got Gorgonus.
What's up, on. Brother? We got Tara in the house.
Hey, sis.
Look at, he got blessings and lions. We got my oh so sweet, beautiful soror in the house. Chanel.
What's up, Chanel?
You know I have to do extra every time I see you. Every time I see a soror, I have to do extra. We got my brother Elijah on. We got my other soror, Christy, on.
Hey, what's up, Christy? Guys, Isaiah's on. What's up, Isaiah?
I just said Isaiah was on.
Did you?
I did, but Isaiah, you get a double dopeness.
Sorry. Going through the comments that we got to read.
Tara say big business and dopeness on the shirt.
Oh, thank you, Tara. Thank you twice, actually. Thank you. Trying to be like you. Have my, big business. Big business.
Mama on.
Hey, Mama Garnett.
We got my brother Maurice on. What's going on, Maurice?
What's up, Maurice?
Z5 Blue. Fuck yeah. Can't do it too loud. Because I get kicked out of the house today.
I mean, probably me too. Like,
so
you going with him.
So last week was really a dope week.
Yes, it was.
We had Ashley on, and we didn't even get a chance to go over any of the discussion questions because she started with the one.
Yeah, that one took up named the whole thing. So yeah.
So the comments were like blazing. On top of that, we had a lot of people. Oh, he said he's stranded. Well, you need us to come. If you need us to come, we'll stop. We'll pause it.
For real. You stranded at home or you stranded like, what do you mean stranded?
Yeah, let us know because we'll be like,
gotta go. Yeah.
Sean is on. What's going on, Sean?
What's up, Sean, man?
So we got some questions some discussion questions from last week. So we want to definitely get into it because we stayed the whole time on, do you believe in the one or do you think anybody has potential to be the one?
Yeah.
So that spent a lot of time. And then the other one was America needing Trump for 4 more years.
Okay, well, we don't really do too much discussing of politics on the show. So all I will say is need is a strong word that I don't necessarily agree with, but what's going to happen is going to happen. So we'll see. That's all I can say. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Stranded where, Maurice?
Yeah. He said, bro, I rode my bike to the box.
We don't know what the box is.
Question mark.
Okay, so we don't know if he's stranded or not. Okay, so a lot of people are asking also because they're stuck at home. What about movie, TV series suggestions? Any good series out there?
Oh man, so there are quite a few good series out there, and so I'm going to suggest a few. And so me myself, I'm a sci-fi / fantasy person, so that's what I like to watch. But I watch other stuff too, but that is what I like. That's what I go for first. And so of course, I do like stand-up comedy specials. I do like anime as well. And so there are, and also depends what media you're talking about. We're talking about Netflix, we're talking about Hulu, we're talking about Amazon Prime.
Just tell what's out there. Tell them some good ones that's out there, bro.
Well, sir,
I'm just saying.
Can I preface my stuff?
I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, you know what? I need to get on with the getting on. So that's what I'm gonna do. So
pontificating on the show.
So if you like sci-fi fantasy stuff and you happen to be an Amazon Prime member, there's a show called Carnival Row that is actually really good. It's of the fantasy variety. It's way more fantasy. It's way more fantasy than it is anything else. So that's on there. Let's see what else. If you like, on Netflix, the Malcolm X documentary is on there, and it's very, very deep and informative. That's on there. They also have, let's see, what else do they have on Hulu? Insecure. I'm not sure if you guys. It's on Hulu, but you have to have HBO. But anyways, if you have HBO, if you have HBO by itself, or you get it through Hulu, if Insecure is back on, the season premiere was last Sunday, and so if you're into shows like that are modeled around real life situations, you can watch that. Issa Rae is dope. She's a dope writer. She's a dope actress. She's just dope all around. So let's see what else. There's tons of stand-up comedy specials on Netflix. I mean, just literally tons. Mike Epps has them. Cat Williams has them. I mean, there's just a whole kinds of. And let's see.
Come on,
sorry, all kinds of comedy specials. So there's quite a few out there. So I will, after this is over, I'll go ahead and put some in the comments because there's a lot, and some of them I know I'm forgetting some of them, but there's quite a few. So I mean, really, you can just take your pick depending on if you like more of the G-rated stuff or you like some of the more provocative stuff. There's all kinds. There's everything out there that suits your fancy. So yeah, it's quite a few.
To be honest, it's like I'm not even really a TV watcher because in between doing these, like going live and all of that, you know, Love is a Parable picked up. We got more people signing up for the classes. So I'm usually in class and I'm usually, I listen to music. I'm more of a music person. So I listen to music and, you know, I listen to Gorgoness. So I will say that, but I do listen to a lot of music. So I'm a music person, and so I spend a lot of times really on YouTube. I find me a dope channel, and all of a sudden I will go, and I would do that. I do know that my wife is watching. Is it Ozark?
Ozark season 3 just came out. That's right now. Again, way more. It's explicit. So if you're not into that, I'm telling you now, so you don't start watching and clutch your pearls and say, "Y'all didn't prepare me." Nope, it's explicit. It's got all kinds of crazy stuff in there, but it is a good show. So if you are looking for something that, you know, is going to keep your interest and it has a little bit of also a good plot, Ozark is definitely something you're looking for. Altered Carbon, that's on Netflix as well. That's a good show. So
she was watching the other thing too. What's the thing that's off of not Sir Lancelot? I forgot. Merlin? Yeah, she's been watching that too.
Okay.
I almost got sucked into that one.
Okay.
Because, you know, I like all that sci-fi, mythology type stuff. So, yeah, it almost got me. It almost got me. She almost got me with that one. So, let me see what else. I can't think of any shows. Did anybody put any shows that they watching in the comments?
Giovanna put in Prime. She put in on Amazon Prime is God of War and Goliath. She put that in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know.
So are y'all like doing watch parties or stuff like that? Or
I mean, I'm not per se, but I know that Netflix did, or I guess I'm sorry, the Google Chrome, the browser, they put out I believe an add-on called Netflix Party or something like that lets you and other people watch the same show on Netflix and chat with each other at the same time. And so I recently found out about that, which I think was pretty cool. I mean, I don't watch Netflix on my computer really at all, but I thought that was pretty cool. So that's something you can do on your laptop, or, you know, if you do watch TV mostly or stuff mostly from your computer, I thought that was pretty dope. Just to, you know, quarantine stuff, you know, adaptability is great. So, but anyways, like we were saying, plenty of stuff out there. Netflix just has a plethora of stuff. You go to Netflix.
I know Cat Williams.
Oh, Mama Gunna don't like Cat Williams. Yeah, he's a little explicit. He's a little explicit. And by explicit, I mean a lot.
Oh, what's going on? We got Keith.
What's up, Keith?
Keith Massick. We used to act together in the acting community.
Lesbians, okay.
Yep. What'd you say about my mom? So, but yeah. Let's see. The next one is, what's the craziest thing you've seen another human do due to COVID-19?
Well,
go to work. I'm sorry.
Oh man, go to the office. But no, I think the craziest thing that I've seen, well, I'll say two things. The first thing was they had two people, and I believe it was either one. I believe one of the people was in Florida, but it was two people who went. One of the people went around coughing on people, saying that they had that. It was a man. He went around coughing on people, saying he had the coronavirus. He got arrested, and I'm sure people saw that. That was earlier on, but he went around coughing on people. Now, one, aside from that being dangerous and just frankly stupid, I thought that was something that, man, it's just way more dangerous. Because, like, man, someone's gonna hurt you. Like, you know, outside of, you know, after the shock wears off, like, someone is gonna hurt you.
And punching your face.
Yeah, and maybe, yeah, exactly, maybe much more than that. So that's one of the crazy things. The other thing is, in California, there was a woman who had a birthday party, I think, for her 1 or 2 year old child, and there was hundreds of people. It was a big block party, and the police had to come and break it up. And I just thought, come on, y'all, come on.
Which goes into, you know, I'm almost like my boy. With the donkey of the day.
Yeah,
to the protesters.
Oh, yeah.
To demand businesses to open up. If you don't take your contagious self home.
Yeah, I mean, demanding businesses open, like, they're going to open when they open, guys. Although, I did read today, The bro Corey Maxwell had linked an article to me and some other brothers that the president said that he is turning it over to the governors about how and when they want to reopen their stuff.
Yeah, I thought that came out yesterday.
Was it yesterday? Excuse me. I saw it today. But
I think it came out yesterday, but yeah. But I think that's the part of being a United States people fail to realize. That's why we have governors.
Yeah.
You have those people in place that you believe can help manage those states. But then here's the thing, though, when it becomes out of control, then the federal government steps back in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do think that, to be honest, I think that it is a smart move because you do have some places that are doing well because of isolation.
Yeah.
That can still go on, that could possibly help. Like there are a lot of places out west that are doing fairly well that can help. Mm-hmm. When I say help, meaning that that's where a lot of our crops and stuff like that come from. That could potentially help some of those areas that are drying out due to the pandemic. But I definitely want us to be wise about whatever we do. We got some people on Instagram. We got Corey. We got Jason. Family? We got Felicia on there. Where's your best friend? She's not on here.
She might be asleep. I don't know, man.
Oh, but Sean said, what's up?
What's up, Sean, bro?
Glad to see you on.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, about the stupidest thing is protesting, having people to put their lives in danger, just so you have something to do while you're not working. Yeah, I mean,
I am not I don't like stuff being closed just as much as anybody else dislikes it. That being said, it's really, a matter of safety. Just I miss going to the movies, going to the gym, going to the bar just as much as anybody else, maybe a little bit more. That being said, I know that I'm not going to have the people that usually staff those establishments risking infection or whatever else just so I can have fun. I understand that there's already people that are risking their well-being to make sure we have the essential stuff.
Right.
So that's when stuff opens up, it opens up. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah, Felicia on Instagram said safety is the key.
Yeah, it definitely is.
B said Hulu has little fires on.
Little fires everywhere. Okay.
Little fires everywhere.
Haven't heard of that, but I'll definitely check it out.
She said it's so good. So there's probably something my wife would be hooked on.
Yeah.
Okay. Giovanna said he didn't have a choice. Trump don't know nothing about the laws. I'm glad that Governor Cooper is doing a slow return, letting us come back gradually.
Yeah, that's one of the things I thought would happen anyway.
I'm sorry. Kerwin talking about, and I protest in the set, but I couldn't ride with that one.
Kerwin, man, when it comes to protesting, man, my man right there, yeah, he's
about when he went to the protest business day open.
My man Kerwin's on it before you even blink. He's there. That's why I call him Superman, because you look at something, man, that's crazy. That's Kerwin's there. I'm like, oh,
before the news.
Yeah,
I'm convinced he got a CB.
Man,
he got an old school CB.
He got a cave just like Batman. He got a whole everything. Kerwin mobile, whatever you want to call it, he got it. Man.
Except he come out with suits on.
Yeah, that's it.
He be like, you will not see me in casual wear. Let me put on this 3-piece and protest.
Never catch me slipping.
His shark skin suit and be ready.
Wear a different one every time. Never see Kerwin in the same suit twice.
Right. I think you got a membership with John St. Banks.
Man said,
I'm part owner.
Yep. Man said, bet you won't. See me in the same suit twice, bet you'll never.
Right. Okay, so let's see what the other discussion topic is. This seemed to come up every week, feelings about the stay-at-home order.
Well, I'll say it like this. If this was during the wintertime, it would be something different for me personally, because I go into hibernation mode during the wintertime anyways. But the fact that this started at the tail end of winter, is going into spring, and now going to be summer, it's a little rough. Especially, I know for me, around this time when the weather gets warmer, I come alive, and when it gets warmer and it's hot or warm or whatever, like I'm, for lack of a better word, I'm lit. I want to do everything, go everywhere, all that stuff. So it's taken a little bit of an adjustment period. But that being said, again, like we said before, it's about safety. And really, stuff is going to be there. I mean, do you guys really think about when stuff reopens, how frantic everything is going to be? There's going to be parties. The bar's going to be like, hey, we've been closed for the half of the year. Come see what we got cooked up. It's going to be ridiculous in a good way, I think, for the most part. So
Liddy, it's going to
like it's going to be it's going to be crazy, and I think that it's going to be just fine. But to answer the topic, I'm not happy about staying home, but I understand the necessity behind having a stay-at-home order for people.
I have been staying home-ish,
Mm-hmm.
so I have no feelings. I have been enjoying because I have been going into the office to get things done.
Yeah.
I have been practicing marginally social distancing, even though I almost risked my life today somewhere. But everything seems to be fine. No cough. I did my 10 seconds check and all the
cough directly in the air.
Yeah, I did. I did all of that to make sure. First of all, you sneezed today, so you still suspect for at least 14 days.
Wow.
So that's what they say. It's allergy. You know what? Why is always that sick person at work that always talk about is their allergies, and they be the main one getting people sick. Everybody have the flu, and they tell me it's my allergies. I'm not sick.
Nah, if they say that in December, worry. But if they're saying that March through September, they're okay.
First of all, this is North Carolina. It will be winter tomorrow. And summer after that. You are like
you are, yeah.
So no, I don't trust any of y'all. But no. So I've been staying home-ish, but I have been enjoying the fact that some of you people have been off the road. I have been enjoying going into play. I actually like, can we keep the 6-foot rule even after this over? I like being in places where it's only 10 people are allowed in a whole store. I want to keep the 6 feet rule.
I think a lot of these social...
Can we fight for the 6 feet rule?
I think a lot of you got me saying, I think a lot of these social distancing practices
6 feet rule
are going to stay in place even after we open back up, just because people will have residual fear of, either getting, infected on the back end, or even getting, if they had it before, getting reinfected. So
Did you say reinfected?
Yeah. Some people had it before, like, man, I want to go back out there and get it again. So yeah, man, what?
Don't get reinfected with that COVID.
But yeah, I too haven't been enjoying the lesser amount of traffic on the road. I have been enjoying that too.
A whole lot,
man. I've worked.
I actually make it to Durham in 30 minutes.
Cruising, and I don't mind cruising. You know why? Because gas is cheap.
I like the fact that gas is like almost back when I was a kid. I swear gas like 79 cents. It's like amazing.
Man, I filled my car up the other day for $24, and my car takes premium gas, and so
expensive.
I have not seen that since I had the car, and that's been almost a year now. So
yeah, I filled my whole tank up. It was like a good old $14.71.
Oh man,
that's just beautiful. See, that's that regular. See, that's that 87. That's that 87 blessing. Yeah, you want to be all up in there at 93. Nobody can do 93.
No, man, I almost got out of the car and did the Dougie just because I was so happy at seeing 20. As a matter of fact, I think it was like 23.87. It was glorious.
When you do the Dougie, can you let us know about that? Can you record that?
No, I'm not.
I need you to submit that video.
No, I'm not doing that.
No. So we got, I don't know who this is, Flying Inferno. Oh, that's the poet dude.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's going on? Thank you for tuning in. And then I saw her, she over here on Instagram too.
We got Kim Rawls is on. What's up, Kim?
Kim, how's that book coming along? I've been waiting for a new poem to drop. Look, I just be blown up in the spot. I just can't say hello like normal people. I'm sorry, Kim. I'm not really. I look forward to your book. Okay, so we talked about the feelings of the home order.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other question, the other topic was, should you allow your employer to put a microchip in your hand for logging in and out or to make purchases?
Now, I'm gonna just highlight who made that topic. One of our good people that's associated with us, Tashia, she made that topic. And
Go ahead.
I don't want anybody putting a chip in my hand, my arm, anything, anywhere. So no.
But here's the thing about the RFID. I'm actually trying to look it up because with the technology component, it always come up every now and then. But that Patriot of it, like the Patriot Act actually is an acronym and it stands for something. And I want to say that the P stands for technology. The T, I'm sorry, stands for technology. And RFIDs have been around for quite some time. And they have been working on enhancing the RFDs anyway. That's why, like, you notice around the little baby ankles when they're in the hospital, that's an RFID. They've been playing with it in our licenses. They actually did a pilot on some children a while ago. I want to say it was either Maryland or Virginia. I can't remember. It was around 2008, 2007-ish that they did that. So these things are not far-fetched from our reality. And they've been testing them on animals for the longest. How do you think they know how many animals we have and all of that? They're tagging them. They're tagging them and letting them go free. I think that it's only a matter of time, unless some of us go off of the grid or denounce citizenship, especially here. It's only a matter of time where we look at the different ways RFIDs can be used. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think technology doesn't wait for anybody, and it doesn't wait for anybody or anything, and that includes public approval. So technology is coming, just like automation, which is a part of technology, came and bombarded the job market or whatever other market you can think of. Technology is coming. So I definitely think that if somebody wants to do it, if they have the right connections or the government wants to do it, they're going to do it. I just am not a huge fan, but it's coming though. If it's on the agenda, it'll be here at some point.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. You know what? Let me stop lying. I go on a fence with certain things. Like, do I want them tagging me like I'm a wild cattle? No. But would I like to know where my children are if they get lost or something like that? It's like I go back and forth. Like, I think it's cool with just having it in your wallet. I don't want to have it in my skin.
Yeah.
But I do know, like, I thought that they were doing it in the military too. Like, it was about the size of a grain of rice. They were putting RFIDs in individuals for a while. So I'm not 100% against it.
Yeah.
I'm just not 100% for it. Can I get a card? Can I get an e-card? I mean, give me that. We can work it out that way. My best friend Tron.
What's up, Tron?
What's going on?
So yeah, we got some comments. Kim said, "Hey guys," she said the new news on Friday. She said the book is coming along. Giovanna said she's not a fan. She said exactly CG. Miss Joy said, "Hey y'all, why?"
Shut up.
She said, "Why does it look like y'all on someone's plantation recording a video or waiting on Harry to come and tell y'all when it's time to go?" Not even going to justify that comment with a response.
And to think that my wife bought a shirt from you, you evil, evil woman.
Brandy Sullivan is on. What's up, Brandy?
What's going on? Guys, if y'all haven't had a chance to connect with Brandy, she's a dope blogger and always challenging people. Now, if you're not religious, you probably get offended, but still, it's still dope things that make you think. And I do like the fact that she does it from an out-of-the-box perspective, but she doesn't discriminate on those she hits over the head. With that, and she actually asked some thought-provoking questions. I have been enjoying it. My wife has also been enjoying a lot of her posts and things like that. Things that make you go,
Yeah, so I recently commented on a question that she asked. So definitely, check her out. Like Brother Jay said, she got some good stuff. Definitely some good stuff. So Giovanna said, "I plan on going off the grid when I retire." And that's something I have heard before from folks. Let's see. Olivia Hines is on. Hey, Miss Rhonda. So that's one of my mom military friends. So Giovanna also said, "I doubt they can do without human consent. Why they got to put it on us when they track our phones?" Well, that's a good question. They're always looking for bigger and better when it comes to technology. Well, not necessarily bigger, but just better. Kimberly Dixon is on. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kimberly Denise Dixon.
Miss Joy said, "I don't want it." No, I guess you're talking about the whatever we're talking about the stuff.
They need to just tag your lips.
Tara Henry said a patch. Jeff on one is watching. What's up, Jeff?
What's going on?
Chris Collins said we have hope. I don't know what he was referring to. Cornelius is on. What's up, Cornelius? And Ed Dudley is on. What's up, Ed? Let's see. Brandy said, "Thank y'all." Right. You probably will be offended. Hey, just put a disclaimer out there so people can't say they didn't know. Just put it out there. And so Ms. Joy said they gave us essential workers freedom papers to go to work. What's next? And let's see. Cornelia said in a bunker. And Joy said only kind of chip I want is potato chips. I don't want no microchip. I can get with you there. I can agree with you there.
But you know what's so funny though? That's why, like, when some of these acts come out and some of these bills that a lot of us, subscribe to, a lot of us are not really reading them.
Yeah.
It's just like when people talk about, it's like the same people sometimes I hear that talk about, oh, you should read, or this is good, it is that. They don't even really read it. A lot of them really just go, just kind of go with the flow of the mainstream. Just like when people was arguing about universal health care.
Yeah.
I'm talking about we need universal health care. And now that you got it, you don't like it. But then I hear a lot of things like I'm usually don't get into politics, but I am into like when we don't read and things that affect me because I worked in higher ed and then I was a healthcare major. And so those were the two things that were constantly cut. And the one thing that I never was a fan of about the universal health care was the fact that we already had universal health care. It was the right to acute health care. And anytime that there is an emergency, no matter what facility it is, no healthcare facility can deny you the right to acute care, or in the state of an emergency, they cannot deny you if it is a business that has ever received federal funding. What is a business? If you look up the definition of a person is business. So if you have a Social Security card and you have ever used financial funding in any type of capacity, then you can't deny people. So we already had universal health care, but what people weren't prepared for was how it was going to tax the already working class.
Yeah.
And so people gung ho about certain things. And now, like I had an employee who couldn't even afford the universal health care. And because she couldn't afford the universal health care, she was taxed. But I'm like, if you can't afford the universal health care, how then are you going to afford the tax?
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I agree with that. And I definitely agree that there's way too many folks who don't read certain things, or they rely on other people to read it for them. They rely on articles where people have read it, or they say they have read it, to give them the Cliff Notes version. And I can understand why some people don't want to read stuff.
Because it was really long too, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
super duper.
Right. I understand why, because there's quite a few of these bills that are passed. There's quite a few of them, or maybe all of them at this point, that are so long, have so much legalese, and have so much stuff buried in the canals and the latter parts of said bills that it makes you not want to read them.
Come on, legalese.
Yeah, but that being said, reading is still fundamental, and that's what some of these politicians count on, is people not wanting to read and do the work or do the due diligence. They count on that, and so they just give it a title, and they just put in there what they want or what they think they can push through, and then that's what they do. So I think all of us have heard at some point about bills that were named something that have something completely unrelated in the bill buried somewhere.
Yeah,
they have bills for healthcare, but there's tax breaks for such and such corporation that has no relation to healthcare in the bill somewhere. They're talking about motor something or other, but there's money involved for corporations somewhere. So those things happen. And again, I'm not here talking about politics, but yes, reading is definitely fundamental for any and everything, for sure. It may take you a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, but reading, especially now, is definitely fundamental. So let's see. Chris Collins said hopeforhousing.org, no microchip. Okay, that's what he was talking about. Ms. Joy said, skip and sign. They don't read nothing. And Giovanna said, exactly. That's how they got torture and weakening privacy laws in the Patriot Act. Yeah.
And to be honest, like, you know, like one of those things, because I worked, I taught healthcare. I taught healthcare management, and I love to teach healthcare ethics, bioethics, ethics, and I taught medical law. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that there is no such thing as the right to privacy. There's no such thing as privacy. We do have what is considered confidentiality, and confidentiality is not privacy, and we assume that it is. Confidentiality is only the ability to share personal information between those who need to know, but guess what? That's relative.
Yeah.
So a lot of people talk about privacy, and you really don't have what we consider privacy. And what we consider to be private, because if I can see anything technically from the curb, it's no longer considered private.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things that happen like that, and we get up in arms. We got up in arms about what's the bill that came out about not changing the bathrooms. What is it? H2H?
Yeah. Yep.
People got up in arms about that, but I sat down and read that, and we realized that there are a lot of misnomers, and there are some people who act as if they understand what a bill is about, and they don't. Because some bills are even hard for some lawyers to even understand, some politicians to understand, and if you're not familiar with certain jargon, it'll be hard for you to understand. And I'm not saying I understand every bill, but some bills that we're overreacting, we are, and sometimes we say that we're not followers, but a lot of times I see that we're followers because we get upset over assumption.
Yep. Again, that's what I'm saying. Relying on somebody else to read it, translate it for you. Nope. Read that bad boy yourself.
Yeah, please read it for yourself. Let's see. The next one is intimate communication, and the emphasis is on not sexual. What are your thoughts?
Oh man, so this is a heavy one. So
heavy.
So first off, there are quite a few people who automatically associate the word intimate with sex or something that's sexual in nature. But no, intimate really just means, intimate really just means close and, and vulnerable. So, I mean, that intimate conversation, or excuse me, was it communication?
Intimate communication.
Right. So intimate communication example could be you or me and my brother talking about something that's really bothering me, something that I really don't tell a lot of people, something that, or anything that I keep close to my chest that I'm vulnerable about. It could be just that. That is intimate communication. When you're talking to just brothers, when you're out there fellowshipping with your brothers and talking about stuff and really venting and unloading, that's intimate communication. That's being intimate with your brothers, and it has nothing to do with sex. Nothing at all. That is really just communication about things that are near and dear to you, and really just being in a vulnerable space. That's intimate communication. I didn't use too many technical terms because really that's not how I feel about it. But that's really what intimate communication is, and it doesn't have to be sexual. And oftentimes it's not. But it's like love, it's gotten compounded and really warped over the years. So not really an answer to the topic, but saying that intimate communication can serve a lot of different purposes, and it's very versatile. And again, it's not about sex. It's really just about talking about topics that really affect you, that are really close to you, with people that you trust, and being in a place where you feel like you're going to be understood and you're not going to be judged or anything like that. That's all I got.
So the U.S. Patriot Act. I want to go to this before I forget, because it was bothering me. The U.S. Patriot Act is an acronym. It means uniting and strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism. So the tools is the technology component, and a lot of people didn't even know that, but to this, I do want to add a caveat to what you're saying. First of all, communication is sex. The problem is people don't understand what sex is, and so they say non-sexual when you really are saying you don't want to have you don't want to have the physical intercourse, but communication is sex in its purest form because it is an exchange, and a lot of people don't understand sex. That's why they out here, and what we calling people, we be calling people promiscuous, but we don't know that gospels ain't nothing but promiscuous people too. You just thought at them out. So, because what happens during sex is the exchange, and it's not just the exchange of fluids; it's the exchange of thoughts, beliefs, ideas, and so on and so on. We talk about this so many different times, but if you're not having sex when you're communicating, that's a problem, because that's just one-sided. And that's just one-sided, and it's one-sided gratification. There is no exchange taking place. There's no transfer taking place. And I think that is the problem, because we have substituted selfish gratification with sex that has also spilled over into communication, where we have people who take components of communication and assume that that's communication. Like, I'm active listening. I'm passive listening. Can you watch my body language? You don't pay attention. No, all of it is communication. The things that you're saying, the things that you're not saying, the thoughts that you're having in your mind, even at that moment, the ideas that you have, everything that is engaged in that transfer is part of the communication. And when we just look at one component of it, when we look at the way that it is, and I understand what we're saying with the intimate communication is making forth-telling, but the truth of the matter is, because we don't understand sex, we don't understand things like foreplay, so we can't even have a foreplay to the prelude to the intimate conversation. Sometimes people are sizing up to see if it's even an opportunity to really be 100% transparent. But because we missed the mark, because we're so used to things coming in a certain package, we miss that whole moment. So the conversation never becomes intimate, not because someone wants to don't want to engage with us. It's because we haven't developed a level of trust where they can be.
Yep. Trust has to be there. And my brother's definitely right. So when I said that intimate communication is not about sex, I forgot to add that part. But I will say
you meant fornicating.
Yeah, I meant
Yo,
the physical aspect of having the sex, having some communication and not be having the sex with anybody. But yes, communication is sex, and sex is communication. That's true. That's true. So, you know, it's nuanced. There's some nuance to that. But yes, intimate communication it's important, and some people are suffering from a lack of, they're suffering from a lack of space to be able to really intimately communicate with anybody. They don't feel like they can trust anybody. So they're not in that space where they can intimately communicate with anyone. So they stop. And actually, and it has an effect because you build up, and at some point you explode.
Yep, or you have explosive-like tendencies. It causes yourself to second guess everything, including yourself. But also, it hinders your tentacles in response to trust. So even when you're in a trusting environments now feel like abuse or now feel like pain because you're not familiar with those things. And so a lot of times people want to really engage and have intimate conversations, but they're so fearful of being mishandled, mismanaged, or even further damaged that they withheld. But that's why I'm saying communication is more than that, because there are some people who communicate emotionally. If you just sit there and pay attention to them, they're telling you everything that is on their mind. And it's not just about the body language. So a lot of people say, well, I can tell by the body language what's going on with the person. There are some people who have really mastered making it look as if they're not communicating nothing because they have been in hostile environments. So they're like, I don't want to make it look like I'm doing anything. They make their face very straight so you can't even read their face, but in their emotions, they're saying, help me.
Exactly.
And so they are being intimate. And if you are able to connect with the way that they communicate best, then you will have a lot of those intimate conversations.
And that's why it is very beneficial to be able to communicate in multiple ways and know how to say something and really relay what your thoughts are, what you want to say in different ways. Because not only does everybody not communicate the same, people don't receive the same. And also, it's one of the reasons why safe spaces, true safe spaces are really, really important, really vital. Simply because, not even simply, because there's so many people who feel like there is no safe place for them. So they are always on guard. They are always emotionally strapped up to go to war because they feel like there's no safe space for them to go.
You have some comments. It's a lot of them down there. So.
Okay, so
900.
All right, let's see. So Valden Johnson said, define intimacy, close familiarity, or friendship. Closeness. That's correct. He said Webster says close or warm friendship. Yeah. Giovanna said intimate just means closely acquainted. Yes. And she said preach, James. She was talking to you. She said it can make the sex much better. I agree. Say Kimberly Hines Winborn is watching. Hey Kim.
Hey Kim.
And Brandy said that was entire revelation. She said, Jesus.
No, because I feel like that's why for me, this COVID-19 has been absolutely wonderful for me because it took out the hustle and the bustle, the ripping and the running, and this allows you to recalibrate. And I know for me, not only have Love is a Parable still been doing great, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for reaching out. We really do appreciate all of the things that you guys have been doing to help Love is a Parable stay afloat. But it has given us an opportunity to connect with people. I know for me, I've connected with a lot of people that if we're just honest, was just too busy for. Yeah. And this forced me to say, okay, let's reestablish, reconnect. And you know what's so funny? And I don't know who is this for, but this helped me. A lot of people that I thought weren't supporting me, that I was close for and I was doing for, I really thought that they weren't supporting me, but really what it was, they didn't know how to support me. So a lot of times having a simple conversation, and this is for you, especially you entrepreneurs, a lot of times it is having a conversation and explaining it probably in a different way, or taking the time to hear what they're saying. And they're like, oh, all this time I thought I was supporting you. I've been watching your videos. I've been liking. They don't understand the type of support you need, what that translates into. And if they're not really tech savvy or social media savvy, they don't understand engagement and how that can help. They don't understand networking and collaboration and all of those things. Though that is your responsibility as a business owner to really sit back talking about intimate communication. You can have intimate communication even in business, because nothing is more beautiful when someone gets the revelation that they can help you, and it's not always by financial means.
Yes. Support is very, very much 360. Bunch of different components to it.
So all them people you mad at, y'all better go talk to these people.
Perfect time now. People got time to do a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to talking, because can't go anywhere.
You got a great shirt, Cordell.
Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you. Thank you. This is one of my favorites for obvious reasons.
You can say my shirt is beautiful. It's Love is a Parable. Y'all just horrible.
Your shirt's beautiful, bro.
My shirt is beautiful too. Okay, let's see. Crucial conversations, how to have them with friends, family, and coworkers.
Okay, so with the crucial,
Giovanna, who we gotta talk to? Send them over here. Tell them to come talk to me.
So when it comes to crucial conversations, no matter what really the topic is,
remember crucial conversations? I just thought about hanging in the middle of the board, but go ahead. Sorry.
One of the things too, I think, to remember, in my opinion, when it comes to those really crucial conversations, no matter what the topic is that going into the discussion without any, I would say, any expectations, because the expectations are a slippery slope. You can have expectations, but they are yours, and no one's obligated to meet them. So they're just your expectations.
Yours. Yeah,
that's yours and yours alone. So I think going into those conversations without any expectations, like, oh, they have to agree with me or they have to apologize or anything like that, go into those conversations without any expectations. The only thing, in my opinion, that you should go into that conversation expected to do is to really say how you really feel, or say what you've been wanting to say, simply because you don't know how the other person is going to react. You can't control that. And if you're going into the conversation looking for an apology or some kind of resolution on their end, I think you're already setting yourself up for failure when you do that. Because the other person, one, they may not even know what you're talking to them for or about. And then two, they may not care what you have to say. And I think it's important to be prepared for that. So what I will say, sum all that up is when you have when you do, so that was a long version. Short version.
You took a deep breath on that. Like,
yeah.
Breathe, Cordell.
Short version is don't expect anything else from the other person. Just say what you need to say, and then just when the other person responds, or even if they don't, be at peace with not necessarily getting a result, especially one that you want. Just say what you need to say. First and foremost. That's all I got.
Kim said my shirt is nice. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
You're the only one that said I had a nice shirt. And I thank you for that. I took a picture in this shirt and I love it. Oh, no, but all jokes aside, I think that with crucial conversations, I think that there is a lot of emotional buildup.
Right.
And I think that is what's hindering the conversation. I think that is what makes it crucial.
Yeah.
What makes tough conversations tough is when you're tough on yourself.
Yeah.
Even before the conversation, like you beat yourself up, you go in it all different ways.
Guilty.
I remember I had a tough conversation I thought that I was going to have with my mom at 36, talking about things from my childhood. And I just knew this conversation was going somewhere. I thought my mom was going to cuss me out and punch me in the eye. But surprisingly, it was one of the most beautiful conversations that we've ever had.
Yeah.
And me and my mom, through my adult life, we have become extremely close, and we can talk about everything, almost everything. But there's some things, you want to also make sure that you're exercising some level of respect or some level of restraint, just a little bit, because, it could be touchy and it could go either way. Yeah. And surprisingly, one of the most challenging conversations I had to have with her was probably one of the most enjoyable. And it's when you get you out of the way and focus on the thing. Like, a lot of times we have difficult conversations, not because we want to separate, but because we want a positive outcome. Mm-hmm. And so even with this, like, say for instance, even if a marriage doesn't work, a relationship doesn't work of any kind, doesn't work, having the tough conversation shouldn't be that we walk away as enemies.
Yes.
But what has happened with society is we build up so much emotion. We come at things truthfully, but attitudinal at the same time. For some strange reason, we feel like we have to be angry to be truthful. And all that does is cause other situations or more damaging situations to occur. Get out of your head and just have that conversation. Articulate your emotions as you're communicating, saying, hey, this is a tough conversation to have. So I'm sorry if I seem a little bit emotional about it, because it's hard. If they already know you, they already know that it's going to be tough. But if you're sitting there trying to sit down and have a quote unquote formal conversation about something that is tough, you're already you're already not being sincere about it. You're not being genuine about it. And that's going to come across as being phony or having a hidden agenda. Yeah. Get you out of the way and focus on the goal. Like, why do I want to have this conversation? Typically, we have crucial conversations with people we do care about. Yeah. Or people that we're invested in some type of capacity. So I refuse to believe that anyone is investing in anything that they don't want to return on their investment.
Right.
So why would you invest and then walk away with nothing?
Right. Damn, bro, you said a whole lot. Man.
I'm sorry.
That was heavy. I hope y'all picking up what he put down. That was heavy, man. I know y'all may need a minute.
Okay, you gonna read these comments?
Yeah, it's only two.
No. It's three: Tara, Javonda, and Kim.
Well, I can't see Tara. But anyways.
You can't see Tara's?
Yeah,
it's right here.
See it? Yeah, so before going into tough conversations, you have to be honest with yourself. What's your part, perspective, and scenario? Very, very true.
Scenario?
So very, very true. Tara with the gems. And so Javonda.
That's my sister.
My sister too.
Nope.
So
application has not been approved.
Oh, we're not gonna do that. So Javonda said, correct. I'm not responsible to maintain someone else's expectations or assumptions of me. Correct, you're not.
I like how Javonda, you just spoke that with authority.
Yeah,
it's like she walked away from the computer after that. That's like insane.
Enter. But no, that's true. You're not responsible. People, expectations, assumptions, those are theirs. If they try to push them on you, you leave it where it's at. You push that right back onto them. So Kimberly said, when we communicate with a posture of love, we are able to grow. It kills suspicion.
Hold on, go back. You got to read that one more time. Can you read that with authority?
What's that?
So what she just said. When you communicate with a posture of love.
When we communicate with a posture of love,
come on now.
We are able to grow.
It's a word.
It kills suspicion, pointing fingers, internalizing, etc. That's what we're talking about.
Come on, etc.
She said, as a society, we have also been taught that dismissal is okay, and we never really learn how to heal. We just call that being real. Come on.
And she said healed and real. She's preaching a word there.
Yeah, being quote unquote real is really highly overrated in my opinion. And Mama Garnett said, preach, baby, let it
go. You're going to always be your mama, baby, no matter how old you are. Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, that, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, all that is true. It's just not going into communication expecting to convince someone or get your own ego, your own ego or fears assuaged is really doing yourself a service as well as doing the other person. So yeah.
I will take this opportunity to tell you guys, just heal. And let's talk about healing. For some strange reason, also in society, we have come to the conclusion or believe the myth that healing is this one phenomenal, miraculous event. I know where it's coming from for those who are even remotely religious, and that's also a misunderstanding of things. So if you look at the Messiah, when he talked about healing, he said, your faith has made one whole. And so what that is that is a constant work towards something. Healing is not a one-time event. Healing is the maintenance that goes along with that event. Once you get awareness, once you acknowledge what is happening, you continue to work at that. So if you know that you have a bad attitude, you're not healed at the day that you realize you have a bad attitude. You're healed every time you get into a moment that you know that bad attitude can come out, and guess what? You correct it. So a lot of times we look at things and say, oh, well, I've been healed, I went to therapy, or I had the surgery. No, you have to constantly work at your healing in order to be healed.
Yeah.
Healed is constantly maintaining something. Yep. It is a constant work. And some of the things, like even with conversations, we walked away, we said, I had a tough conversation. And guess what? If there is unresolved issues, go back and have another tough conversation. You have every right to have a conversation about the things that affect you as many times as possible in order to receive some type of healing or some type of resolve or something where you can walk away from. The problem is we put all of our energy in that one episode of a conversation, and guess what? Emotions are high. You're not hearing what was really said. You're going through so many different things. You're thinking about so many different things. You are anticipating one thing after the other, and you are hindering the communication to happen. So guess what? That was really a pre-conversation. So you really want to go back and have a true dialogue, and then you want to come back and have a post-dialogue about it, because guess what? When you are being 100% raw and being 100% real, just like sex, you want to make sure that the person that you had that conversation with is taken care of. But we don't do that. We feel like just because I did it one time, that's enough. No, it is not enough. It's not enough until you're okay. So let the junk go, man. And keep going back. Put your pride aside. It don't matter how many times. There are a lot of you who are dealing with people who wronged you. But you communicate with the person who wronged you every single day. And you're like, no, I don't want to stir the pot. The pot is already stirred because you've been unsettled.
They stirring you with the pot.
And they know they hitting you with the pot. The whole dang on pot. Boom. The problem is you already know, and they know that something isn't right. Tell them what that something is.
Hey, I just want to say, yeah, I need all y'all to help me pick up the gems that he dropped. There's too many. I need all y'all to help me pick them up. Can I get volunteers to help me pick up the gems?
These lights hot.
Y'all can keep some of them. I want some of you too. We can all keep some, but we need to all pick them up together because he dropped so many. Just saying. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah,
we only got like 2 minutes. You better.
Hey, I ain't even gonna read the rest of the comments. But anyways, Pastor Brother, shout out. Definitely got to shout out to Brother Jay, man. We in here every week, man. He just be throwing the words and the gems at us, man. Hit us in the head with a big bing. So, bing, bing. So nah, this we got to shout out to Brother Jay, man. Like this brother right here is so phenomenal, and I learn something every time I talk to him. And I think it's very, very important to have people like that in your life. Shout out to all the brothers that are on the live, of course. Gorgonus, Sean, Superman, Kerwin, again, happy birthday. All the people that are on IG with us, shout out to all the brothers on there, YouTube, all the places. Shout out to all the brothers that in this time are really taking the time to really get with themselves and really get right and reflect. Shout out to all y'all brothers. This is a great time to do that. And we both love y'all.
Right? Like I always say, if you feel like nobody else, follow us, guys. Share this with everybody. Thank you for what you're doing. Continue to connect with us. If you're not part of the group, get part of the group because we're building something that's different. This is a movement and a lifestyle.
Yes,
love
sir.
you guys. We're out.
Next week. Love y'all. Bye. Think.